And we are live. Cool. Well, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Silver Lining TV, where we motivate and inspire people to create a better life through real estate. And I am joined again with my business partner, Lauren. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I love my life, and I'm actually really excited about today's topic. I know it's something we've been talking about a lot this year in regarding the market. But yeah, we're going to break down: are we in a housing bubble? Because I know a lot of people are still maybe on the fence about getting into the market, or maybe they know somebody who's on the fence about getting into the market. So we'll break that down a little further today. We'll share some infographics, and then we'll give you guys some information if you want to further do some digging where to go. So, Lauren, I'm gonna kick it to you. You want to start us off?
Yeah, I can definitely start us off. Um, so I think we only have the one graph, but the
You want me to pull that
title
up
of the
now?
top. What?
You want me to pull it up now?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can.
cool.
So basically, just starting off is saying there is a shortage of homes right now. So we don't have a surplus amount of homes. Like we're still very much limited to our options. Um, but we are seeing more and more homes popping up because it is summertime and people this is when people usually like to list their homes because they have no school or work's kind of lax and stuff like that. Let's see. I got my notes pulled up. Um, so yeah, and realistically, I mean, we have been in a seller's market, and for that to change, it has to be like it, like people are saying we're in a neutral market. Well, it has to be like that for 6 months for it to actually be that way.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, we're in a situation now where I think we got some time to see a shift like that. Like it has to consistently be inventory increasing. I don't know if I cut out. Did I cut out for a second?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay, I may lag. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm at home and Lauren is in our office, our Silver Lining office. So I don't know if my internet is going to be as strong as the office internet. So we apologize for that. What I was saying was, if you look at this graph, you notice that back in 2007, really starting 2006 all the way to 2010, the supply of inventory, the inventory of supply was high, and we're looking at the average month, the annual average of month supply compared to where we're at today, and really since 2019, look where we're at, right? So, are we in a similar situation today as we were back when the market crashed? It doesn't look like it to me. Because again, that's what we're talking about today, right? Are we in a housing bubble? A bubble at one point pops,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I believe wholeheartedly that we're in a safe place, or at least a safer place than we were back then. Inventory's low. Back then in the 2007, 2008, and maybe even a little before that, builders were they were very aggressive building homes.
Mm-hmm.
Like builders were building so many homes and they have such a large inventory of homes versus today, or in over the past couple of years, it hasn't been that way. Builders have not been able to keep up, if that makes sense, with the buyer demand. So just some things to keep in mind when we're talking about, are we in a housing bubble, right? Lauren, so what would you say in regards to, because there has been a shift. I think we've all said the word shift 1,000 times over the past
Yeah.
months. But even though things have shifted, what benefits, if there's a buyer out there today watching this, or they're going to watch this video here soon in the future, what would you tell that person if they're a little hesitant about getting into the market today?
So, I mean, honestly, right now is the perfect time to be a buyer in our market. Just because like we have more room to negotiate now. Like homes are sitting a little bit longer, even homes in the 180 to 160 range. They're sitting longer because people are like, I don't really want to pay that much for a house anymore. Or they're like, I'm not wanting to go above and beyond for this house because this house isn't even meeting my standards. So, right now, at least in our market, we're seeing a little bit. more of houses sitting longer and a few houses getting listed every day.
Yeah. Yeah, we're with the inventory increasing, buyers have a little more options these days.
Mhm.
Yeah, so if the house that you have, let's say you're a seller, you got it on the market, and a buyer looks at your home, if it's not perfect, then that buyer for the most part has a home right down the road that they can look at that's gonna be
Mhm.
pretty similar, and they'll make their decision from there. Where in the past, every home was getting about 5 offers on it, and it was
Right.
selling within hours, right? Um, my advice and that's great advice for a buyer. So if you're a buyer, it's still a great time. You're still in a great opportunity to buy a home today, still get a good low rate,
Mhm.
and not have to worry about competing against 5 other offers. So that means you get a little more leverage in the
On
negotiation.
negotiating. Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
you'll see like you don't really have to do appraisal gaps anymore because you can offer at asking or maybe even a little under asking. So you don't really have to do appraisal gaps as much anymore. And you can, I know for us here at Silver Lining, we always do inspections, but I do see some people that haven't gotten inspections on their house because they wanted that house.
Mhm.
Well, now you can negotiate to get that inspection.
Yeah, for sure. And now it also means, because I want to make sure that we're not saying you have a guarantee to get
Mhm.
a deal out here. Some homes still are selling within a day or two,
Oh, yeah.
but what we're finding is majority of the homes are sitting days longer than they used to this time last year. So there is a change. Uh, Even if it's a 5-10% change days on market, that's still a big change,
Yeah.
right, compared to what we've been used to over the
As
past
a
few
oh,
years. So yeah, you do have a little more leverage today. Oh, I
yeah,
cut out
as I'd
again.
say yeah, a little bit.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was like, "Is he frozen?" Um, but yeah, I mean, even like a couple months ago, back in March, when houses would go listed, and then that same night it was pending, like that's crazy. And so now seeing homes that have been sitting a little bit longer, it's like, oh, okay. But then you get that curb appeal that it's like, okay, it's been sitting a little bit longer. What's wrong with it? So there are ups and downs to houses being on the market a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure. So we can talk conversely about the seller. Like
Mhm.
are we in the housing bubble? I don't believe we are, but maybe you're a little concerned because you have heard that there's a shift. And what we just said 20 seconds ago could have you, a little hesitant, right? About putting your home on the market because you may believe you don't have as much leverage anymore. Well, here's the reality. It really depends on the condition of your home and the price of your home.
Mhm.
If you put a great home on the market and it's priced correctly, the home and the value that it has in regards to the aesthetics and all the amenities in the home, that doesn't change. And there's going to be buyers out here, no matter what the market is, that may need a home like yours. Okay, so it
Mhm.
doesn't matter the market. So you still have it's still a seller's market. I
Mhm.
mean, look at again. Let me put this back up just to make sure I can show you guys the data too. We're at 3 months, and this is nationwide, by the way. So our local market, the days on market is actually one. I'm sorry, the
Mhm.
absorption rate is 1 month. But this
Yeah.
is nationwide, as you can see right here. 3 months, right? Lauren mentioned earlier, I think you mentioned it, that a seller's market is all the way up to about maybe 5 months of inventory.
Mhm.
Okay. Once you get up in the like 5 to 6, 6 to 7 range, you're going to be in more of a neutral market. And then everything above that is going to be a buyer's market.
Mhm.
So if you're listening to this and you're a seller, you still are in a great seller's market. It just means that today, if you put your home on the market today, number one, you do want to make sure you do some touch ups. You want to make sure that you declutter. You
Mhm.
really want to get it clean. If there are some areas in the home that need to be maybe even renovated, and you can get it done for a good price, it would be worth doing it because you can't just put any home on the market today and price it 10, 15, 20 grand over what you think is worth, then
Yeah.
it will sell. I mean, it's at least it could sell, but maybe it won't end up selling fast in the time you want it to,
Mhm.
and for that same amount that you're trying to price it at initially. You'll
Right.
probably get in a situation where you get lower offers, and then at some point you settle. So, but if you put a great home on the market and you price it correctly, it will sell,
Yeah.
and you should be able to still get the net that you wanna get, especially if you have a strong agent.
Yeah, and that I was actually gonna bring that up. Having an agent that knows what's going on in the market and not just letting their clients price the house at what they want, showing the data of, "Hey, I know you want this for your house and you wanna net this.
Yeah,
How about we price it here to get it competitive, and then we could work our way up." You don't wanna just price it at that high dollar amount and not have everybody come see it.
right. Yep. The more people that you get interested in your home, well, number one, the more people you expose your home to will help you get more people, more feet through the front
Mhm.
door to look at your home. Typically, when that happens, you get an offer or two, or maybe three, which is what you want. Now, I do want to say this: pricing is extremely important right now. As an agent and as a consumer, a buyer and seller. Well, we're talking to the sellers right now. If you're a seller, you want to make sure that your agent and you are both aware that pricing is so important, and pricing is just a snapshot in time. So
Mhm.
what it could be, the perfect price on your property today may not be sufficient next week, next
Right.
Wednesday or next Thursday or Friday. So what you find is the market can shift, and meaning there could be a comparable home that is very similar to yours that just sold tomorrow, and it sold for 15 grand under where you're priced at. Okay.
Mhm.
And if that happens, then what typically can happen is if you stay at that price and other homes around you are selling for cheaper and they're closing for cheaper, you're going to be in a situation where you're chasing the market. And then you're going to be on days on market will be longer, and then you're just losing money every week.
Yeah.
So pricing is just a snapshot in time. So that make sure that is something that you and your agent are fully aware of, and you guys are having that conversation, because it really does require your agent to be skilled in today's market to get it sold quickly.
Yeah. And with that being said, like, you'll see homes in the same neighborhood and one will be priced competitively and the other one's way over. And like you said, you'll see which one goes first because that's the one the consumer wants.
Yep. Yeah. So just be cognizant of that, um, and again, if your agent's not having a conversation with you, then go ahead and bring it up to them and just let them know, hey,
Mhm.
I watched Silver Lining TV and they said this. So how do you think we should come in on the market? Just let them know that you learned it from us.
And then you should probably
Um,
just list your house with us.
one more thing I wanna share with you guys before we wrap it up. It's already been almost 15 minutes. So I want to look at the foreclosure activity then and now. As you can see in the red, 2007, 1.3 million. And by the way, this is U.S. properties and foreclosure filings. Okay,
Mhm.
so 1.3 in '07, 2.8, 2.9 in 2009 and 10, and then we're gonna jump all the way to 2021. Okay, 2020 and 2021, because I know a lot of people were thinking that 2020 and 2021 there were going to be a lot of foreclosures. Now,
Mhm.
if you're looking at it right now, we may end up being at the or actually, well, we don't have 2022, so I don't really know that data. But I'm actually a little surprised that in 2021 it dropped like that,
Yeah.
because in 2020, normally a foreclosure, and they did the forbearances and all that stuff to try to help out. But normally it's about a 6-month process,
Yeah.
like 3 to 6 months. So I would think that in 2021 it would have went, that number would have been higher, but it's not. It's not, right?
Right.
So that again, that goes to show, like, are we in a housing bubble? Looking at the data, no, we look to be in a pretty decent situation. Um, honestly, I mean, my personal opinion is that over the next couple years, we'll see homes still appreciate.
Mhm.
We'll still see homes. People that own homes will still be in the plus in regards to the appreciation instead of a decrease. So
Yeah.
it's a great time to be a homeowner. It still is. It's always a great time to be a homeowner. But
Yeah.
there's nothing to be afraid of. Is my point. Something to be afraid of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lauren.
Having an agent that can educate you on that and not just tell you, well, you should just buy a house to buy a house. Like, you need to know why you're buying a house and why it's great to be a homeowner,
Hmm.
not just to have a house because I own a house. Like,
Absolutely.
you
Yep.
need to know why. Like, the why is so important.
Hmm. Facts. And again, this is to our sellers too, because a seller, for the most part, is a buyer as well.
Mhm.
The only reason why most sellers are selling because of they want to buy something, right?
Right.
So they're sellers disguised as buyers, and these conversations are not just catered towards just like a first time home buyers for everyone.
Yeah.
You're in a great situation. To keep this in mind too, and I promise we'll close with this. Lauren, you got something else to add, but I will say if you were to buy today, and by the way, there are people we have clients, by the way, that are still getting pre-approved in the 4%, 4 to 5%. I think they got
Mhm.
a 4 point. One of our clients got a 4.5 or 4 point, maybe it was a 4.8. It was something like that. And so you could still get below a 5. Okay. I just
Yeah.
want to put that out there. But let's say you're a current homeowner and you're like, you know what I do? I would like to upsize. Maybe we just had a new baby and we need to get something bigger, right? But I'm so afraid of losing this 3.5 rate that I have, right?
Mhm.
Think of it this way. If you were to buy a home today, and let's say your credit is great, everything checks out, you're able to get a 5% rate. But more importantly, you get the home of your like the perfect home for you and your family. So you're in a comfortable spot. There's a monthly payment you can easily afford. You just got a 5% rate. So you go from a 3.5 to 5. Let's say hypothetically that happens. But then 2024 comes around and you still love your home. You still love it. Everything's good. You're happy. But then the rates drop back down to a 4. There's a thing that we could do. It's called a refinance.
Mhm.
And you're able to still over those past couple of years enjoy the home that best fits your family's needs, and now 2 years later you can refinance into a lower rate. So Lauren, what you're saying, you said this a couple minutes
Oh,
ago.
yeah, Scott taught this to me, and I say it to everybody now. It date the rate, marry the house.
There
You
we
can
go.
always refinance.
There we go. Date the rate, marry the house. And that's so true. That's so true. Don't get afraid of an interest rate. The only thing that really matters, think about it this way, the only thing that matters is making sure you have the home that fits you and your family's needs, and
Mhm.
you're proud of your home. And number two, you can afford it monthly payment wise.
Right.
You're going to be locked in a rate. That way, it's not an adjustable rate. You're going to be locked in one rate. Doesn't matter what the market does, that rate will stay the same. Okay. Um, so you don't have to worry about nothing. It's just, can I afford the monthly payment? And it's
Mhm.
the home that fits me and my family. Who cares about the interest rate?
Yeah.
Who cares about the interest rate? Unless
That's
the
a good
rate goes up
thing.
to like 30%, then we could probably start having that conversation. But I mean, we're in a great situation. If you're going to be a buyer or seller, securing a 5 or 6%, still great. By the
Mhm.
way, I personally had buyers that I was serving and sellers that was securing almost 6% rates in 2018, 2019. So I mean, this is just we're just back in the normal range. So, anyways,
Right.
we'll wrap it up there. Lauren, do you have anything else to add on that?
No, I don't think so. I think you pretty much covered it with just knowing what you're comfortable with monthly payment. that is all we need, and we can go off of that. Like monthly payment, if you want it to be this max, we will go off of that and we won't go over that. We will do what's comfortable for you.
Yep, so true. We got a comment from Kendrick. Thanks for sharing this information. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, man. Kendrick is a good guy. Just met him for the first time yesterday, actually. Super,
Mm-hmm.
super great guy. Good energy. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Well, if people needed to reach out to you and they had questions, maybe they were a little concerned still about the market, even after watching this video, they're like, you know what? I'm still not sure. And again, listen, we only do these videos we want to just keep everybody educated and in the know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but don't just take these videos and make a decision off a video, even if it's our video. Make the phone call, have a real conversation with a professional, sit down with them so they can break down your specific situation. This conversation we're talking about is more of a general based
Mm-hmm.
conversation and dialogue. It's not based on your specific situation. Like I said, there was a client that we just recently helped that secured like a 4.8 rate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You may be in a situation to do the same thing. So when we're talking about 5.5 and 6% rates, this may not even apply to you.
Right.
So watch the video, get educated, but also make the reach out and talk to a professional about your situation. Lauren, if that person needed to make that phone call to you, how could they reach out to you, get a contact for a consultation?
Well, they could reach out to me at 765-204-2690, or my email, which is right there, lauren@slreg.com, or they could even add me on Facebook. I'm pretty friendly, I like to think, so you can just add me on Facebook.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. So I'll tell you one thing. There is an opportunity for everyone if they want to be a new homeowner or upgrade or downsize this year. There's an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity for everyone. Okay. And even if you have credit work, even if you maybe don't have down payment money, we can help give you the information to help you get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people that we've helped that didn't have money for a down payment and was still able to buy a house within 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like they saved up 10 grand. It was just there are loan programs available for that,
Yeah.
right? There are strategies that we can utilize to help offset situations or maybe hurdles that you see in front of you. Okay. So Lauren, I appreciate your time. We'll let everybody go. If you guys have any questions, reach out to Lauren, like she mentioned before. We'll be on here next week. And again,
Mm-hmm.
y'all stay safe. Our goal is to help you reach yours. Got to make sure we close it. I've been doing that. I hope I haven't been forgetting to say that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I should probably look at some of the older videos over the past couple of weeks and just grade myself. But
Yeah,
our goal is to
it's
help you
okay.
reach yours. Yeah. You forgive me. So as long as you forgive me, we're all good. All right, y'all. Stay safe. Take care. We'll see you guys next week.